Alright guys, what's up? This is another one of those videos where I'm gonna go over my play. This is actually for YouTube, so how you guys doing? That usually means that we might be in a nice situation because we're recording a video for you guys, but it also means that we're in a little bit of a fucked up situation because my internet crashed. So I have 0 upload speed and my download speed is doing fine, so I can stream, I can watch streams, I can do everything. Sorry, I can't stream. I can actually play poker. I can watch videos, whatever, but I can't actually stream because my upload is capped to like 3 Mbit. Super frustrating, but we're gonna make the most out of it. I was already playing some tournaments. I'm in the Bounty Builder 82. This is early morning schedule. About 4K for first if you do pretty well, but at the minimum, well, actually, it could be 4.5, 5K first if you do well. So between 4,000 and 5,000, I would say. Morning fields are pretty easy. Not a whole lot of super tough regulars. There's a few guys who are really, really good that would make money wherever they play. And of course, there's a lot of solid regs, but you know, talking about like the, you know, the top of the bill, the Linas, the Ape Styles, the whatever. So those guys mostly play in the evening. And you just won't see here, which means that you have, you know, smaller prize pools, but less tough regs to compete with. I also think that because it's also because of this, I'm gonna fold because, you know, I'm gonna open a lot because I want to play pots with them. But if they shove, I can't even call. King 7 normally the bottom. You can mix in some King 6 when you get a little bit deeper, which I could do now. But if I cover the small blind or I have a little bit more of a passive small blind, then you could definitely see me out there opening this. It does give me the chance to sort of like, in a YouTube sense, in a YouTube edit, talk a little bit more about strategy. A lot of times I think in the YouTube videos, when the moment's happening or when something in a high stakes tournament's happening, sometimes I'll go over my thoughts during a hand, but sometimes I won't. And a lot of times when I play big pots, I'll pull up a replayer screen and I'll like go over some hands and give my thoughts afterwards, pretty much. So, you know, when that happens, then obviously you guys don't get to hear it because it's a highlight video. I also shout out to the 20 IQ people in the YouTube comments that don't understand that highlight videos consist of lots of good hands. I'll show you my... It's always an enigma to me. It's like we laugh at this a lot. I mean, other streamers that make YouTube videos. It's like, if you make a highlight video, you're gonna pick a tournament where you got far. To get far in a poker tournament, you need good hands. And we cut out the dead space with bad hands. Therefore, you're gonna see lots of videos with good hands in it. It's so insane to me that people are too thick to see that. But I know there's a lot of good guys as well watching, of course, that do get it and do appreciate the videos. We actually just crossed 100k subs as well on YouTube, which is quite nice. Alright, so let's take a look at this tournament. We have 35 big blinds, pretty tough spot at the table. We have a reasonable player there who has a huge stack, and we don't have a big bounty ourselves actually, which is sad when you look at the money return, but it's good for our stack situation, right? So no immediate insane short stacks at the table. We have a really good player to our left who just lost a pot actually. That's great. Nice. Oh, that's pretty tough. Oh, that's how he got a big stack. Okay. Yeah, tries to get the bounty. Little 3-way, 5-4, really good flop hands. Ooh, that's tough. Yeah. Yeah, this is a tough turn. Check. Oh wow, goes into check call mode. Yeah, okay, that's pretty balanced. Normally he wouldn't be happy with that either. Yeah, show for value. Wait, he checked. You see, this is pretty impressive. This guy's like, you know what? He might not even be calling with an overpair. So I'm just gonna check it down. Okay. It's pretty good. I don't know, I might have gotten greedy there. I would have been out. Who knows though, like when you play hands like that in the moment, it can definitely feel a bit different, you know? It's weird. Sometimes it's weird to like just look at somebody's hand and just like give an opinion about it. It's some hands are just like sort of like, you know, everything's based on strategy, right? So you don't really want to do that too much. You don't ever want to just... It's not a thing where, oh, I need to feel the situation, because everything's based on certain strategy and preparation and knowledge and all that shit, right? But sometimes you really do get a sense of people just being insanely strong and not necessarily balanced or something. And that could have been one of those moments, you know. Can just make the tiny Tiny difference between shoving and checking back there. So there's 21 people left. First place is 4 to 5k. See a few really good players. Lots of not insanely tough players. You know, which still includes a wide variety of different kind of characters that we're playing against, but you see, this is a little bit tough. I still am gonna open it though. I can't start folding this kind of suited stuff just because he has a stack, right? It's so funny though, like usually, and then you open and you just rip it, right? Especially with a 10 big blind stack and a big blind that has a reasonable bounty. The amount of stuff that you can just rip all in here is kind of insane from the small blind. Think about hands like ace-8 offsuit, you know, or hand like jack-9 suited. So you can start ripping a lot because like normally when you have both 30 big blinds, there's a big downside to the big blind calling, but now there's no downside. You're actually just for 10 big blinds playing for a relatively big bounty, and then they're just gonna fold a bunch too. So it's good to pressure a lot. The big blind being short also means I'm gonna open more because I want to get to, you know, you want to try and reach the short stacks at the table however way you can when they have bounties on them. So you know the best way to do that button versus big blind is opening. It's getting really short now, but I'm gonna have to open solid hands. Solid hands are really good blockers, you know. I can still open a hand like ace-5 off or something from this position. See, this is just the situation gonna happen a lot. Wow, great news for us. Let's hope Wanderer loses this one. This is great. This is really great. Okay, see, so now this problem is cleared. So now all of a sudden I'm the daddy here, you know. So it's just very important to understand like sort of like table dynamics like that. You just like, if you're in a good spot, if you're in a position where people have a good spot to pressure you, you should just not open the bottom of your range. The highlight clips. If you guys don't follow the Instagram, there's like 20-30 seconds. It's almost like YouTube Shorts, right? Okay, this is amazing, $65 bounty. We have the nizzles. I very much welcome them to shove, but this is fine. Let's not get greedy. No 9 and we good. Could use some bounties. That's a very suspicious card. Nice. This is really great. All right, this is good. This is good. Last 2 tables now, I think. Probably gonna get reorganized. Bounty builder 82. When I was grinding and blitzing before I went to Costa Rica and stuff, I played this tournament a lot. Actually, won this tournament so often back then. It's crazy. It's crazy, you know. I won it so often. Nice, some big pots. Let's see, what's average stack? Normally, average stack is 80k, so it's 40 bigs. Okay, this is quite large, so we might have a nice little run on our hands here. I always laughed at, so I'm exactly on average. I always laughed when people at live tournaments would be like, Floor, what's the average? Like, it doesn't at any point, possibly in a satellite, okay? In a satellite it matters. Near the bubble it might matter, but averages don't say shit, right? If there could be like, let's say they say the average is 40 big blinds. Do we know if there's like 5 1 big blind stacks and 5 80 big blind stacks? Or everybody has 40 big blinds? Like, the average doesn't fucking matter. You make decisions based on your hand and the amount of big blinds you have. This is like, if you lose a big pot at the start of a tournament, and you go down to 15 big blinds, and everybody around you has 200 big blinds, you play a 15 big blind strategy. Your tournament's not over, you know? You just grind it from there. It's just like, this is very important, you know? You see people just saying, like, just know, what adjustment are you gonna make? You have 40 big blinds, and your average is 100. What do? Do you play different? No. Average is 10 big blinds. Do you play different? No, maybe. God, let's see, 8-7 off. Oh, it's a little suspect. I really can't get away with shoving this, so good luck, boys. You want to shove a lot. Like, let me give it 9-5 suited. I'm all in. You know what I mean? But having a suited component is just so insane. It gives you 3%, right? All right, so he won that blind shove. That's all Gucci. There's still a lot that, you know, I have 30 big blinds, which is like fine, but it's nothing to write home about. I can't be just like splashing around and 3-betting people, you know. I'm still in a sort of middle of the pack here. This is a really good spot. I'm gonna be heavily checking these kind of boards to people in position. You have to understand that this looks like, oh, I'm the pre-flop raiser, I should smash this, right? Now the question is, do I just shove? I think it's a pretty good move, because I think that there's going to be a lot that he calls. Like, I think ace-jack, honestly, just might call. Might sound crazy, but all the 10x combos will call. He has lower 2 pairs. When we're deeper, I'm definitely not check shoving here, but... what's really important to understand on these kind of boards is that when you open and somebody behind you calls, they're playing a range that's advantageous versus yours, right? Because if the range is not an advantage versus the opener, they should adjust the range, right? Because you have the information that somebody raises already. So when you're in position, this, or even in the small blind, of course, the big blind you just have to defend a lot based on odds and shit. But when you play versus an opener, you're gonna play a range against that makes money. If the hand doesn't make money, there's no need to play it, right? So it's really important to understand that therefore out of position you should be checking a lot. You see a lot of people that are just like continuation betting 3/4 of the time, and it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So a lot of these, like for instance, Jack 10-9 with a flush draw. Jack 10-9, you never continuation bet when you're out of position. As a pre-flop raiser, I don't give a fuck if you have king, queen, jacks, the nut flush draw, your fucking grandma's house on the line. It doesn't matter. You just have to check them. So therefore I check there, and then we open up possibilities, right? But then all of a sudden we do have check raises available, and you know, all kinds. Oh, this would be a fold. I would call versus, well, clearly because I covered them. But let's say they have 40 big blinds, and I would call here. Would really love to win a $100 bounty. That's either not gonna work or be a bit tougher here. But it's still good though, you know. 3 would be ideal. It's always nice when there's a short stack with a big bounty all in and they chop, you know, nothing really happens. But, you know, let's look at the positive, the fact that there's a really good player gone from my left. So it's definitely what we should be looking at there. It's gonna open this. You can open like, you know, let's say like a6, a7 and higher in the cutoff, and the lower kickers. When there's not so many aggressive people behind you, or when you cover people, or we're just gonna bank a small bet here. There's tons of auto folds for him. That's really good. We're always gonna bet this card, never slow play it. One of the reasons being, when you don't have it, you would really want to represent this. He's also forced to call with every single queen X. If they fold queen X here, they're actually burning money. Because they're just going to be folding too often. So even if he has a hand like queen 4, he just needs to call here. Okay, up to 34 bigs. The blinds increased in the meantime. I kind of like it. This is a more pacey structure. 8 minutes, nice. I like more pacey structures. I've always been a fan of it. I've never really liked it, especially that live poker era when there was like this fucking obsession with deep stack. There was slow fucking 2-hour levels and shit. Fucking, you know, you're playing 3.5 days to get to the money. It's obscene. Right, this we'll open as low as 5s. You know, big blind's quite short. There's a 11 big blind stack there, so I might put 4s in there as well, just because of the situation. But you want to be careful. Like deuces and 3s are insanely bad in bounty builders, so you want to be careful with those. You just don't really want to get shoved on, and therefore you don't really want to open, right? Because it doesn't block anything. The only thing it blocks is the worst cards in the game, so the worst hands in the game. So you want to be careful with those. Like when you open deuces in a 20 big blind stack shove, you almost never want to call. So like why, you know, and it doesn't block anything. So why are you really opening it? You could open it when there's like, you know, when you're near the bubble or something, or a big pay jump, because then people will flat call more often than they would raise, and you know, then it's good to put pressure when you have the big stack anyway. But like that's, you know. You know, you have to give these like circumstantial things always, because you'll say like, oh, you pretty much never want to open deuces, and people will go like, what about when you're chip leader, when you're near the bubble? Yeah, okay, good job. Nice, Francis, you know. You got me. All right, small bets. If this is, well, with the 5 space, we're probably never folding, to be honest, even to 2/3. Also because there's like, you know, we have connectivity around possible straight. Right now, its turn is a 6, a really good card for us. Don't imagine they're going to be bluffing. We don't have enough equity to call, so we're going to be check folding or hoping to go to showdown, which happens quite often. You know, we covered this board pretty well from the big blind, so. And there we go. I think our hand is strong enough to just take the showdown. It's unlikely. You know, I could be getting some folds from a hand like King 8, or maybe like Jack 8 suited or something, but he's just gonna have misses way more often than that. And then we just take it down. He's also gonna pot control some stuff, right? He might check some 9x back on the turn. Yeah, king 10. And now we have queens. Amazing. Let's see, what is best here? Queens generally don't play as well slow playing just because there's going to be an overcard so often, which makes it pretty hard, you know. Like when I limp and he checks and the board is king high, it's going to be so hard to go for 3 bullets on 3 streets and get value from something less. This is one of those instances where we can just shove even though this guy's 18 big blinds. 10 big blind, big blinds. This is just going to be a call, especially versus somebody who has one of the biggest bounties in the game. It's pretty good to call 20 big blinds anyway. Okay, if they fold, we just call. You know, there's a little 2 big blind juicer in there. We only have to call 8 big blinds. Look at that. We got 2 to 1, which we have. So we just need a queen or 9. Would be fucking fantastic. Ooh, a little live play run good here. Nice. King 9 is definitely on opening range. It's the bottom actually. King 8 folds. There's a huge difference between hands that can make straights, flop straights, and hands that can't. So you'll see those cutoffs all the time. You know, King 9 suited to King 8 suited. There's a huge difference usually in win rate. King 9 to King 8, Ace 9 to Ace 10. You'll see that. You'll see that a lot. This folds. There's nothing for us to get there. We have $155 in bounties. Nice. 3 out of 13, so close to the final table. Another one of those boards, you know, their range is going to match up really well against ours. So on boards where there's like tons of draws, this is a wet board pretty much, right? On wet boards, they're going to have hands that play really well against us. Therefore, we're going to be checking about 75% of the time. And this hand we also check. Hand is not strong enough to check raise. There's going to be check call, check the side. That's pretty much what we do. So, all right, so we're going to call again. Pretty nice to see a 33% bet. This could definitely be something like 8s or 7s that wants to deny equity. Board just got drier, right? Less chance I have a 9. So I do think that we're going to be seeing check here a lot, and he's going to have something like 7s or something. If he bets, we have to kind of reevaluate things. I'd be quite surprised to see a bet, to be honest. And I based that off of his bet size on the turn. But, you know, this guy could just have Ace Jack or King Jack and now think like, oh good, you check call the turn, let me go for value. This is a pretty bad card to have because it blocks 10-8 suited, King 10 and Queen 10. Kind of funny. It's one of those situations where you might end up calling more often if the turn bet was bigger. By the way, when I check what I had, it's just a reflex that a reflex that I do, or that I have. I just do that a lot. It's not like I'm trying to point out to you guys, oh my god, I folded trips. It's not trust me, I've been playing poker for fucking. This is good. Nice. Big stack gets short, or big bounty gets short. You know, I've been playing poker for 17 years. I kind of skipped the whole, oh my god, I would have won if I played the hand face. You know, I didn't skip it actually, but I'm through it now, you know. I'm safe. Min raise. Wow. Wow! Little limit hold'em here. Wow! Wow, who's seeing this live? Holy shit! The 6 bet all in. Did he check ace? Oh my god, this guy just gets fucking brutalized 2 hands in a row. And I have king queen. Okay, so now the question is, how do we maximize this, right? So what I want to do is I want to see if he has more than 3 big blinds. Because if he has more than 3 big blinds, then I can raise. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to call because I want him to shove and I want the action to come back to me. And the only way I get the action back to me is if what he does is constitutes as a full raise. So if I raise to 2 big blinds, it has to be 3 big blinds or more because I raise by 1 big blind. If they want to raise by 1 big blind over the top, they're going to have to make it 3 big blinds or more. So because he has... Wait, but he has less than 2 big blinds, so it wouldn't even have fucking mattered. I'm the fucking worst. I'm actually the worst. I should have just raised 4 or 5x or something there. The action only comes back to me here if I limp, if he has 2 big blinds or more. Because otherwise it's not a full raise, right? Am I wrong there? I think I'm wrong. Oh my god, this is fucking embarrassing. No, I think the action will come back. Yeah, because otherwise if somebody shows for 1.5 big blinds, the big blind won't have any action either. Man. Okay, this probably means that we're just gonna have to go to war. And we'll go to war, I mean, what if he raises, they call, he shoves, I'm all in with ace-4 offsuit for 40 big blinds near final table. There's 2.5 buy-ins in bounties. Anything these guys put in is just gonna increase the dead money in the pot. Ay. I think that his opening range is gonna be so weak that I can peel ace-4 here. Ace-4, you wanna be careful against MP, EP raises with lower ace-X hands. So there's definitely a chance that I would fold hands like that. Alright, put a 4 dealer. Alright, 8. I think I can still check. I think there's still gonna be some king high hands that, you know, and like king 6 of hearts or something might still be checking. He's up against a big blind range, but I would have gone and schmelted. If he would have gone all in, I would have been fucked. Oh yeah, he folds, man. I love this. This is what I love about bounty builders. The dynamic around the fucking 2.5 buy-in bounty that's struggling and amazing. Alright, 40 big blinds. We're gonna do some raise in here. 3.5x. Wow, 3x. Okay. Auto folding with a stack this small when you have 2 medium high cards, like let's say high medium, is a fucking crime. I mean, like, you know, imagine me auto folding. I should just flat here, see a flop. There's a chance we're gonna see some aggression. It's really cool sometimes if you know there's big stack aggressive players to overlimp aces here. People will never expect the overlimp to have aces. But ideally, I'd like a few more people behind me to do that. Oh man, doesn't it suck to just whiff the flop completely when somebody's all in? Okay, so now I need to consider betting here. You might say like, well, why are you bluffing it with barely a side pot? I could get my equity versus this guy heads up. Should I do that? No. It'd be a bit silly, to be honest. We also have some good turns, you know, we can flop lots of double gutters, turn open-enders or double gutters. Amazing river. Amazing. So now he still has a shit stack. So now he has more than 2 big blinds. So, you know, now I can... You actually don't think I would get the thing back on me. I'm such an idiot. Wow, why can't I figure it out? It's crazy. Playing for 17 years. I can't figure it out. Please fold. If he folds there, I'm gonna do a little dance of joy. No. You see, this is not like, oh my god, I had queen deuce. Alright, nerds, now we hope he wins, obviously. We want the bounties to stay in. No. Can't beat it. Okay. Well, on we go. Ace-9, definitely a raise here. So, always scouting to see, like, did I miss? It's so important, especially when you get raising hands. Or also when you get hands that you normally just wouldn't raise, you know? It's so important to just kind of, like, scout the table and see, like, is there a 2 big blind stack? Is there a short stack? What's the big blind like? Who's on the button? Alright, with a 10, we're gonna call 1. Especially with this 5. 5 doesn't do shit. You know, a 7 is so much better because it can backdoor into 8-9 for a straight. That's a horrible card as well. Or a 5 of spades, so you can make 4 spades, but the 5 literally doesn't do shit. So, easy. So when we start considering what 10s we should fold on the turn, or we start with the fucking... we start with the 5s that can do, the 10s that can't do anything, right? That can't improve. Alright. Alright, to cover us, we have a pretty nice bounty, I would say. Like, these guys are starving a bit for bounties. They only won $56 in bounty. Yeah? No. In the middle of the pack, 5 out of 11. Again, that doesn't really matter, but it's kind of is nice to know in bounty builders, right? You definitely don't want to be too tight even towards the end. I mean, if you look at the payouts, right, and this is payouts plus bounties, right? So if you look at the payouts, then it's so important to get top 2. It's so important. So if it's that important to get top 2, you know, like blinding down and trying to make money jumps to get 5th or 4th or something in other tournaments might be super advantageous, but bounty builders is pretty important to A, get a big stack and cover people so you can knock them out, and B, get how much was that? 15, I wouldn't even call that, I think. You see there again too, like it's not like I think like, oh my god, but what if I would have just called, or you know, at that point you might as well wonder to yourself like, what if I would have just misclicked, you know? This is silly. It's so stupid. It's like, hey, you know, it's literally like, if you do that, then you just have no idea what playing well is, you know? We're gonna min raise for standard suited ace. We open any suited ace at this point. Pretty nice to get a fold here. Still gonna have hand like 6-5 suited or other ace highs, right? You can't defend it. Like if you have ace 7, you just have to fold, which is pretty nice. Bottom card pairing really isn't that great, so definitely just gonna check here. I just expect to lose this hand, but you know, if you lose the the middle card pairs, but yeah, if you lose the, sometimes just checking down knowing you're gonna lose is still the way to maximize money in a hand. Okay, queen 8, absolute garbage. Be raising. Not full frequency or something, but it's pretty good to raise. You could even let it depend on how big your bounty is, which in this case would mean I would probably fold, but that's not proof of it being bad or something. It's really important to not let yourself get freaked out with stuff like that. Poker's such a volatile game with so much variance, right? Variance means that there's a luck factor, there's an RNG. It's not like, oh, you have the best hand, so you're gonna win. So you can make a good bet 10 times in a row and it doesn't work. All right, so it's 20 big blinds. We're gonna be opening a king 10 suited here, no problem. Final table, a bubble. We're 10 out of 10. It's a really good flop. I do expect hands like, I mean, King Jack's probably going to be in there, but tons of hands that we do well against. I expect a hand like King Queen to just commit against my stack. It's 5-handed, I have 20 big blinds, so it's pretty easy to commit King Queen by, you know, 3-betting to 8 big blinds or something like that. A little bit iffy here. There's double flush draw, and of course there's clubs here. I think I might just shove. I don't really see either a whole lot of slow plays. Like, let's say this guy has king 5, king 9. Is he really gonna slow play? 9-5 especially not. And then he has 5s as the only strong hand here, or king jack. But double flush draw here. I think I can get looked up by like king 7, king 8, king 6 by them, and it's really good to protect, you know. So, you know, my hand almost plays like king queen there, or ace king, you could even say. So it's important to realize that, right? Like, your kickers are relative, not absolutes. I just have 0 equity, nothing, just not gonna fuck around. He's also supposed to check this at some weight with the 9s there, because I have such a big advantage, but... Nines are just gonna go in. I don't give a fuck what happened. I mean, if there's a raise, like raise, shove, call, then I'll fold 9s. But if it's like raise, 3-bet, I'm shoving 9s. If there's a raise, I'm shoving 9s. Very easy. Awesome to see a 3x. Just means more money for me, to be honest. This guy's been 3xing a lot, so it doesn't even mean extra strength, right? It's just literally an extra big blind I'm going to be picking up here a lot. Or maybe he'll feel more committed. Always disgusting when a big blind actually wakes up with a hand here. One person left to go, you know? Alright, nice. Big upgrade there. Alright, we're gonna defend this, of course. Gonna, again, check call. There's no reason to check raise or panic or whatever. We're just gonna check call, see what happens. back cards. Gonna have some, you know, ace 10, ace jack, ace king, ace queen best of turn probably. He's gonna have some ace 4 to be honest as well. Okay, doesn't matter. I'm gonna call the river anyway, so it's not like it saved me either. Pretty big battle to get to the final table. What's the average now? 30 bigs. Yeah. Average is going down. You can tell that the tournament's not moving along as quickly in terms of players as the blinds are, so which is absolutely fine, you know. It's just curious. It's not like it changes my strategy in any way. All right, we're opening king 9. Really great flop. I think I'm just gonna check raise this. Or do I want to bet this? I think I'm gonna check raise. I think if I check this board, it's gonna get a lot of stabs. Also, big blind is pretty short. It's like 0 danger for this guy, right? So he's gonna be fucking freely stabbing. So final table bubble. Also elicits more pressure. So that's good. That's what we're hoping for. We're just gonna make it 7.5 big blinds. And we're just gonna get it in now. Like this is like 0% of this makes me worried. Obviously, I hope he doesn't have me beat, but he can have a fucking 8. He can have tons of weaker 9s. He can have flush draws, straight draws. So fucking top set. Okay. Yeah. Man, that would have made you guys angry. All right. So we busted. Pretty sad to run into top set there. It's actually incredible that he didn't raise that pre-flop, to be honest. That's a pretty big mistake. No, you know, I don't want to be the guy. I don't want to be the guy that's like, oh, I lost, so he made a mistake. It doesn't matter. It's just like you just point out stuff that you see, you know. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Yeah, you know, I mean, like, subscribe to the channel, but like the video as well, especially, you know. Most of the people that watch my videos are subscribed. So that's just a stat. You know, it's not something I assume. But if you like this kind of video, please like it. Leave a comment if you want to see more of these, because it definitely gives me something to do and make content out of when my internet drops. I mean, last time we got second when we made a video like this. Spoiler alert. This time, you know, it didn't pan out to be anything, but I still think we had some interesting spots. We got to talk about some stuff. And it's pretty laid back, and I get to talk to you guys directly, so I think it's all good. Yeah, so peace. Talk to you guys next time, and coming out on Twitch as well. It's the same as my YouTube, Lex Veldhuis, and yeah, if you watch me play live, you can also ask tons of questions and stuff. Twitch chat's pretty positive as well. Like, we have a pretty well moderated, good chat where you can feel pretty comfortable if you also want to ask some poker questions. YouTube comments, I like, you know, I make an effort to reply to YouTube comments because there's a lot of legitimate comments and nice comments as well. I'm definitely gonna make more of an effort again. I have some more plans for YouTube to up my video postage, but sometimes it's such a cesspool sometimes, you know, so you guys know how it is. But yeah, I appreciate the good ones, and see you guys next time. Peace out.